Hello and welcome back to 7 Days to Die. Last time, we found this little intersection, cleared out the gas station and the working stiffs. Honestly, looking back, we didn't get a whole lot of good stuff. Like, the pick is good. Other than that, we didn't get anything really worthwhile. Some sludge hammers, some iron axes, bunch of plans that I'm gonna have to just sell. Still no engine because RNG hates me. Honestly, the search for an engine, it's almost always like this when I play this game, and it is the most madness-inducing aspect. Because I can do a great job collecting everything else I need, getting it all ready real quick, but then engines just, you stall out. You know, you're just stuck, and it's like, well, outside of a car battery, I can craft everything. Or I can easily get, like, a headlamp. Well, I can just scrap any car and get a headlamp. Or headlight, specifically. Headlamp would be a lamp on my head. But, you know, it would be nice if there was at least, like, an engine book. Like, hey, idiot, here's how to make a, you know, a small, like, two-stroke engine or something, you know? Because you're pretty much using... Even though you're getting these engines from cars, you're not using a car engine. On a mini bike, those are completely different size things. You're using literally a mini bike or a... I don't know what it would be. A lawnmower engine? I mean, you could probably make a motorized bar stool with the same parts. I don't need coffee beans. I never use them. Always my curse in this game is I pick up a bunch of stuff I never use. And honestly, I don't even blame myself. Most of the stuff sucks. Or it's just, it's so impractical to use that I can't justify it. Also, what is with this fog? Am I in Silent Hill? Man, that's real. That's cutting it close. Well, I'm using this pick because it's blue. And because I got my crappier one on me and I don't feel like using my crappier one. Yeah, like, the engine doesn't make sense where you find it. I wish, like, because I know there's, like, a high school you can find. It'd be cool if you could find, like, an auto shop room that would have a good chance of spawning one, or lawnmowers, and be able to just yoink one out of that. Really? One? I'm not even taking the paper. You can't make me. How much do we want to bet that there's a gun safe in here? Called it. Search the backpack and dead guy. Oh boy, a 93 shotgun receiver. Alright, well, I'll come back once this is done. Man, I love using picks. They make this so much easier and so much faster. And wow, that's just disappointing. Like 3 shotgun parts, that's not bad. I can make 3 shotguns. But also, they all kind of suck, and they're all kind of meh. Yeah, I know 300, or what is it, 2, 300? One 300, 1 200, and 185. I could take them all, put them together, and have a kind of decent one. Is there a safe down here? No. Empty dead man. And backpack full of a flashlight. It looks like another bag? Yeah. A purse. Well, at least that has a gun. You know, I'm glad I haven't lived in one of these houses, because if I were to, turn this into farmland, this is a very small farming area, and I'd have to expand the sidewall. These fences, on the sides, there's just so little room to work with. I'd probably have to bring it out to about here. I probably want to bring it out to about here even. It's going to make once again, my area to defend really big. And honestly, the size of this house is just... The house is cumbersome. That's the only way I can describe it, is it's too big to be useful. Yay, second storage chest. You know what, I'm taking that with me. You can't stop me. Alright, let's pick a direction. East, west, or south? Let's go east first. It's probably gonna be nothing. And a bear. Neat. This road is leading somewhere, but I don't like that I had to cross the path with a bear. I was just thinking to myself... That's a rock. I was just thinking to myself, man, I hope I don't come across any bears. I can stun lock them with the crossbow, but that's going to require me backpedaling and just dumping shots. What are we looking at? Ew. I can already tell you it's going to loop back together. Might be a town here. We'll see. So we got a cave here, and... Yes, this is likely just going to connect. But this goes somewhere. Let's explore a cave. Let's just do that quick. Because this cave... Like, this game has never been good at cave generation, and I doubt there's anything in here. I can pick up the mushrooms because I don't have a use for them. All this is, like sodium nitrate, I think. So I don't really have a use for it. Hey, a guy. Empty guy. Whoa. This is disappointing. All the bodies are empty. Huh. This is an interesting bit of random generation. Alright, we're gonna have to build stairs like a normal person. Let's start with 10. No need to go overboard. I'm probably gonna have to go overboard. Just parsing this out in my mind. Yeah, we're gonna need to go way overboard. That's fine. I kind of expected this to happen. I'll need more to get back out. Probably even more that way. Oh no, that actually worked out. Okay, so that's all here. See, this cave would be, if it was expanded a bit more, would be a really cool area to have like some weird boss spawn. Even though this game doesn't do boss spawns. I think if they did, there'd be room for potential. You know, you got a cave, you could have some weird spider zombie, which they have a spider zombie, but he's just a guy who crawls on all fours and screams at you. I mean, I can do that for free. I don't need a video game to have that happen. The only thing that's interesting about the spider zombie is when they die, the fact that they actually curl up like a spider does. Which is something I wish they had done. It's a very minor thing you likely wouldn't even notice, but it would have been cool to see that in Killing Floor. Having crawlers kind of do that curl up and die animation when they actually have limbs. Because there's something honestly kind of unnerving about seeing that. Let's just get rid of these, I don't need them anymore. Did I search this? No. Okay, car battery. It's a better car battery than I had, but I'm getting real sick of them. We'll finish this off, and then we'll follow this and see where it leads. Hey, it's your boy, back at the cave again. Turns out that road, in classic map generation fashion, didn't connect. Yeah, one just is like, nope. The other's like, yeah, nope. And they just turn off completely different directions. All they had to do is go swoosh right there. Just right there. Would have connected, would have been fine. But no. Had to be difficult, had to be annoying. Hopefully this road leads somewhere. Ooh. Looks like we got a hotel. And gas station? Yeah. So let's just quick hit this gas station once we bait everybody out. I'm clearing out all these stupid trees. I don't need a bunch of shot blockers in my way. There was a lot more I thought out here before. Did they just get stuck? Like, that one's gonna come out. I already know that. Whatever, I'll just deal with these two and face the rest when they finally show up. Another random thought that would be kind of cool in this would be if every building had a survivor variant, where, you know, you have all the same spots for loot, because nobody really wants to get screwed out of loot. But then, on top of your normal spots, parts might be, like, walled off differently, or there might be better doors, there might be some workbenches, or other little things scattered about to kind of hammer home the point of, like, hey, someone else hid here for a while and then didn't make it, or left. And you could even have a third version that's... You could have 4 versions. You could have the normal version, a heavily damaged version, like zombies overran it. You could have then a survivor version, and then a survivor heavily damaged. Granted, they've, in later updates, made in these environments a lot more diverse. But, I mean, you can always add more. I mean, how many people honestly are gonna say, no, I don't want additional content and variations on structures? Keep those additional things away from me in my game. I want it to be far more reduced in what's in it. I mean, no one's going to say that, so... The only problem I could see is depending on how they do generation. That's always kind of the kicker, is I don't know how they have all this coded. And it could be either very robust, or it could be... It could go all the way down to in quality to the point of the developer of Yandere Simulator, where people recently got a hold of the code for the game, like the source code for it, and the guy just uses if-else statements. It's nested if-else, 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 if-else. And the thing is, if you use it once or twice, sure, you can use an if-else statement. But for programming, if all you do is have those, it explains why the game ran like crap on everyone's computer. Because running an if-else statement, that is a process. So you can only imagine running a process, then if it didn't work, running essentially a nested process. If that one didn't work, running another, and another, and another, and another, and another. Instead of doing like a Boolean or something where you can do the effect of an if-else statement, but more efficiently, if you, instead of that, go for just, you know, absolute insanity. Oh, we're right near the red zone. We're gonna run towards it quick, just to map it. But if you do the poorly designed version of just nesting them, you're just chewing up processor power. Man, that is real close. It's like, no wonder you have so many problems. I also found out, like, recently I found out some wild stuff about that game. Like, For people who don't understand it, I'll explain it as simply as possible. Everybody else who understands it, tough, you're dealing with the simple version. Every item in a game has polys. It has faces. Essentially, it's what makes up an object. Let me search that, yes. Like this box, very simple. It's literally one big side, one big side, one big side. You know, they don't need to have anything fancy. That's how a lot of this game is. It's not very difficult. Like this sedan, you can see it has different edges, and each edge kind of adds more to it. Now, in the files for the Android simulator, there is... what is it? There's a toothbrush with over 7,000 faces on it. Which is not normal. The guy who had found it out, he was looking at it and figured out that the actual mesh for it, the 3D model, was actually a higher poly count item, but the guy who's making it toned it down by trying to just like rip out unnecessary polys and kind of backfill. It's used in a cutscene at I think the beginning of the game, and that's all you see it for. But it is there's a mechanic within game design called weight. This is also within 3D modeling, within CG, everything. Weight determines the processing power on it. The more heavy an item is, the more effort needs to be put into rendering it and keeping it in the game at the moment. It was the heaviest item in the game because it turns out it was originally used as a 3D model, like for CG, for computer generated stuff. You would likely see that toothbrush back when it had all its polys still, making it even heavier in like maybe a Colgate ad or some like toothbrush ad on TV as a 3D model. And he just yoinked it and was like, yeah, I can put this in. And that game, I swear, every week I hear something new and wild. And I always say I don't like shitting on people and shitting on developers, indie or not. You know, people they're putting in their effort. They're doing their best. And I cannot fault people for that. What the hell are you doing there? I mean, that explains why I heard noise, but... weird. But, yeah, so, it's like I can't rag on the guy. But, man, this is the most peculiar thing. Where did you come from? Or you? You're probably wandering in. Yep. All just nonchalantly wandering in. Completely ignoring me for reasons unknown. Whatever, I'll clear you all out. Yeah, because they're all wandering that way. I mean, okay. I'll pick off those of you who stay. Yeah, like, it was just such a peculiar thing to see. Because again, it's one of those things where you shouldn't be doing that kind of thing. Between the nested if-else statements of Doom to just, hey, we're gonna load up unnecessarily heavy items into our game. It's all very perplexing to me. On one hand, I get it. It's the curse of first-time developer syndrome, and I think it's made in Unity, so, you know, everybody and their mother just hippity-hoppity Unity assets are my property kind of deal. I get it. Ow. No, leave me alone. I mean, even this game, at least for this time, this update, I think for a while they used Unity assets. I've always had an issue when it comes to that because too many people get complacent with that, and if you've been around long enough, which, I mean, that's not like it's been that long, realistically, in terms of time. It was only a few years ago. But there was... I harken back to the days when zombie survival games were all the rage. But there was a asset pack that was very Minecrafty. It's the best way I'd describe it. Not exactly Minecraft for reasons of it wasn't, but it's that very simple art style. And there was a zombie pack. Interesting pack, you know, I thought it was cool. I kind of wanted to get it, but I was broke as hell in college. And I had a laptop that ran like a potato, coincidentally still the same one, that I do all my work on now, so nothing's changed. But with it, there was a bunch of stuff. It had a hunger meter and the code for it. Don't know why I stuttered there. My mind just kind of shut off for a moment. But it had the code for it. It had melee combat. It had a ton of stuff. All very interesting. The problem was, I saw it, and Jim Sterling did a video on it even, within a good 6-month window, I think. I saw 3, 4 attempts to sell it as a set game. People would just slap everything together, compile it, and say, here's a game. I think, yeah, this was right around the time, like, Unturned got really big. And, you know, you had that craze for very simple, not low effort, but low resource requiring zombie games. You know, the kind of stuff anyone can run. You know, you can run it on a phone, you can run it on a computer, you can run it on a car, like a Tesla, like some people figured out how to do Doom. You can run it on a Samsung fridge. That kind of low effort, or low resource kind of game. But so many people kept trying to just resell these assets. So it's like whenever I see Unity assets in a game, I get this, you know, Vietnam-style PTSD of that. Where I'm just like, oh god, not this again. I suffered through it once, I lived through this BS before, I don't want to see this happen anymore. Oh, I near the radiation zone. Man, those were wild times. You still see asset flips. Like, they're never gonna go away. I just haven't seen as egregious ones. And I feel like that's the best way to describe it. Is they're still bad, it's just no one goes to that degree anymore. And it's a real shame too, because that zombie asset pack, if properly utilized, you could have made a game that rivaled Unturned. Very easily. I mean, the basic framework was there. all you had to do was model your own weapons. They weren't exactly high poly count or high detail, so you could easily just slap together something, add more weapons, add more items. If you figure out how to save things statically in your world, you could do, base building, whether you do it like the Dead Linger, where you have existing houses and you just slap boards over them, or you do Rust style, where you install walls, an entire wall at a time, or you do it like this, where you install a block at a time. Probably not this, because that'd be kind of annoying depending on the block size. But regardless, you could make something pretty easily. It's just no one did. And there's part of me that's like, yeah, I should do that, but let's be real. That the era of zombie games, like zombie survival being huge, has... I can't even say that it's gone away, because a good game, regardless of genre, is still good and can still draw in people. The only issue is whether or not a genre is oversaturated, or if it's been played out and even the quality of a game will not get the attention it deserves. That said, I think a zombie game could come back at this point. It's been... zombie survival games, I would argue, died off fully 5 years ago. That's my estimation. That was long enough ago that I think Dying Light came out, and that was the last big one. And even then, there was a good gap between that and the others. So yeah, I'd say about 5 years ago. But I'm going to call it here. Next time, we're gonna hit up this hotel. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to hit the like button. Helps out the channel a lot. If you're new, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.